you get the holy water on your hand. You put a little bit of garlic, so you can also prevent the vampire to suck your. Welcome to the next episode, guys. We got the reptilian Tim and the poltergeist Juan. I was going to say alien, but that was going to sound horrible.
I was born here.
I mean, yeah, illegal.
I was going
there.
to say. He said it. No, I didn't.
You can pretend you were born here all you want, but if I'm illegal, you're illegal.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Reptilian. I like flies.
This makes me the cultist. I'm the cultist, okay?
Does that make me a Cthulhu monster?
If you want to.
Sexy. You know what that means? It can turn people's brains to mush.
Okay. All I'm saying, HP Lovecraft, masterpiece.
And
Every single one of
And
them.
then get stabbed by a narwhal. Narwhals, swimming in the ocean.
You miss me there.
Causing a commotion.
You're still missing me.
Because they are so awesome.
Goddamn stop. So how was you guys' week?
Not bad.
Stressful.
Is it because of work?
Yes.
I don't want to go in detail.
I mean, yeah. You don't really want to go into detail about it. I mean, you don't want to talk about taking care of an old man.
Exactly.
It's not clean. Literally,
No.
in any sense of the word.
What about you, Juan?
Just work.
Work?
Yeah.
And you notice how I trimmed the shit off?
I did.
And I'm also a cripple. I play soccer, I use so many muscles that I forgot I had.
It's funny, I'm taking care of a cripple.
I'll pay you 5 cents an hour.
Hell no.
I gotta wipe my ass too.
Let me be fair, you couldn't even pay me $30 an hour.
Nah, I could try it.
Hey, at the very least, this old man's able to wipe his ass by himself.
That's a plus. Because, like, there's some caregivers that they don't get that luxury.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they don't.
So
They don't. I'm lucky in a lot of ways with this guy, but like in the same way, I still want to hit him over the head with a frying pan.
You don't want to say this in record. Record. For me, yeah, I wanna also do the same thing with my knife to my head chef, but that's another story.
And that one sounds more dangerous.
A little bit. I won't do it though.
I mean, neither would I. I don't need to. The way this guy takes care of himself, old age is looking like it's gonna be very quick.
Oh, damn. I don't know about my head chef, but if he's watching this, it's been over a minute, so we can actually say profanity and do profanity on camera. Alright. By the way, you guys, if you guys watching this, you're lucky. World War III hasn't started. Bro, like, it gets scarier every single day.
Yeah, it gets closer, man.
So, the last few days I've been, ever since the thing started, I've been watching this guy. That he does like the day by day. He's kind of like that. The channel's called Speak the Truth.
Okay.
And
Starting off strong there. Speak the truth, bro.
yeah, he's not a bro. He's more like howdy, boys.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
He's
better, cool. It's worse, it's all the way in between.
Well, he's like one of those like, don't touch my guns and my liberty. And this is America, the land of freedom.
There you go. I was right the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was I think he was army marksman.
Uh-huh.
So he actually goes and do like, well he says he
So I can't touch his rifle? Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah, especially the second one. Anyway, so
That's hot. Paris Hilton would be proud of me.
So he usually talks about like how like after he gives detail on the conflict, right? And then a few weeks back, probably like a month, he started talking like how like Japan and Russia, they do have like these disputes in World War II for it's called the Kuril Islands.
Oh yeah, that whole thing that's been going on for like the last 70 or so years that never stopped.
Yeah, so apparently Japan and Russia, they were like on agreements on like the land, but after they invade Ukraine, like Japan gave them an ultimatum to like, hey, fuck out of the islands or suffer the consequence. So that's one. And then like 2 days later, China started flying like airplanes close to Taiwan. And you know how much China wants Taiwan.
They want it bad.
They want it bad. And then you see this bullshit that Kim Jong-un did.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Which, by the way, that video is like, you want us to take you seriously, but you're like doing that shit.
What did he do recently?
So he posted a video, but it's like edited with like 80s music. He's wearing a leather jacket. He's wearing sunglasses in the middle of the nowhere with like a ballistic rocket behind him. And he literally goes like this. And then they test it. It's you never seen it.
No, I have not seen it.
I'll show it. Dude.
I'm surprised with how much social media I'm up, like how much time I spend on social media in general.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I have not seen it.
It's so weird, so stupid.
Why couldn't we get his sister in? That would have been great.
That would have been funny, scary, and great, and all. Bro,
Sorry, mommy, nuke me. Mommy, nuke me.
it's just like, think about it.
Well, I mean,
This motherfucker's already crazy, and then I heard that bitch is worse.
yeah, no, I heard his sister is even worse than him somehow, and like I heard that she is, but I didn't hear any reasons why or how exactly.
I think she's just more brutal, just in general.
That makes sense. But it was hilarious though, because like he was sick supposedly or whatever, like whether it was COVID or just some illness or something, whatever. And he wasn't seen for like a week or two, something like that. And his sister was looking like she was going to inherit soon.
Yeah.
And the entire internet was going, sorry, mommy.
See, and that's another thing. Like, it'd be weird in the terms of that whole like society, especially the generation of North Koreans. They always had like male, and it'd be like weird. That all of a sudden, oh, we have a female. And like they believe, the previous three guys that were gods. So I don't want to see how they view women, but if some free states even treat their women like trash, imagine that place. So I don't know how they would react with like a female in power.
I'll tell you exactly how I'm gonna react. Mother apologies.
Maybe.
Please.
Maybe a huge maybe actually. It's demonetized again. Sweet. I mean, to be fair, but sweet.
No, but that would have been an interesting turn, though.
That would be an interesting turn.
I mean, a lot of people are still convinced that this isn't even Kim Jong-un that's actually back, and it's just a body double.
It probably is, because like after he came back, he looked worse than before.
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, that's like any normal sickness. Even when you're feeling better for like the first day or two, you look like absolute shit.
Well, and I was going to add to like, well, to be fair, is this guy apparently smokes cigarettes like crazy, and he is very overweight, and I doubt he ever worked out in his life.
It's true. That's funny. I saw this video the other day about like some parade that they were having, and it was funny because obviously the entire country is a part of the parade or whatever, and they have all these different flags and little placards and crap, and there he is on top of the balcony and like behind all of his generals and shit, and he's all waving and smiling at the crowd. It's hilarious. He looked bored out of his mind,
dude. That's the worst thing, because like, even if he has like a parade, if one of them, like, even though like he struck his uncle like a few years back into a rocket,
Oh yeah, right.
And it's like it's boring as fuck, bro. No one wants to be there. Like especially like a fucking 60, 80-year-old, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Speaking of horror stories,
Yeah. What are we talking about
I'll
today?
give you a horror story.
today we're gonna talk about the case Josue, and it's not our friend. That's a whole new case, but yeah. So have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. I mean, it's not that surprising, but Carlos Trejo was in there.
Oh.
Well, at some point he was like, "This, he has to be there."
It's like a million Josues.
That is
You
true.
could have a case of Josue, and it's like which one? At least 100,000 or so. It's just, oh yes. So Josue was beaten to death with a bat. Which one though? It's like going into a bar. It's like, is there a Josue here? At
And
least
like,
5 of them are gonna raise their hand and be like,
What's it do with Jose though?
"Yo soy Josue,
Okay. So, alright.
yo soy, yo soy."
Based on what I just told you, what do you think it's gonna be about?
Josue being beaten to death
I'm
with a
assuming
bat.
it's like a ghost, right?
Okay, what about you?
Josue being beaten to death by a ghost bat.
That wouldn't be a good one though. You guys know anything about like ghost bats? Let us know.
That'd be cool.
I'll do it.
It's like Babe Ruth's legendary
Legendary.
ghost bat.
Fuck.
Can you imagine that? You just have like a ghost, and his sole signature thing is that he beats you to death with a bat. So that'd be creepy.
It'd be creepy, but it's like, why?
I don't know. It'd be creepy as well as hilarious. I mean, obviously, so long as you're not the one that's being beaten to death with a ghost bat.
That's true.
Ghost bat.
Okay, so you guys, you were there.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
because I mean he's like a ghost hunter, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were
Unfortunately.
there at the murder?
No.
All right, so if you guys think, we're gonna be safe from that one, that shit happened here in California. BT Dubs.
Interesting.
All right. Okay, are you guys familiar with like Paranormal Activity?
The movie, yeah.
Okay.
Never seen it.
So
The first one was alright.
the first one was alright. Second one was okay too, and then everything went down the hill after that.
You mean all 20 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that, but it's not like that. And you
Don't they get like worse and worse and worse with each movie, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so good, it's so good."
yeah, just because of the jump
See the
scares.
screen reaction and whatnot. I'm
Yeah.
like, it looks fake as fuck.
I mean, the first one, like,
The first one was actually horrifying.
and it like brought back the genre of
Like demons or like
the-
possession.
yeah.
So it kind of is like, also if this man is dying is because it's like almost 12.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
I'm a white man that goes to bed at like 10 o'clock.
You're horrible.
What? I like waking up early in the morning.
I do too. I go to sleep at 2 a.m. I wake up at 7, boy.
You're gonna crash and burn in your old age.
Probably. That's probably also why I used a little caffeine back in the day.
There you go.
Alright, anyways.
This is why he's a caffeine whore.
Not anymore. I quit it. Alright, carry on.
Saves him like $20 a week.
That is true.
Saves him more. Wait, no, correction. If he's getting caffeine every day at freaking Starbucks, it saves you probably more, like about 30 or 40.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Jeez, that's a nice load of cash.
Yeah, it is.
so
God.
case Josue. It's about you could say demon hunting or demon possession
Okay.
in regards that it's not a ghost.
So you mean, so demon hunting, you got demon slayers?
See, that would be a
That is
great
not
story.
the song.
I know it's not the tone of the song.
See, that
It's
would
in
be
my
a
head,
great
but
story.
I can't repeat it properly.
It's okay. I can do the Pokemon battle sequence of
No.
the original. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay, I'll
And you gotta do the Pokeball sound.
Wow.
Ditto.
Okay. This guy. Okay. So it happens here in California.
Okay.
So, and partially in Mexico.
Of course.
That's why Carlos Trejo
Yeah,
comes in.
that's why he's involved. I figured.
So, are you familiar with Juan Ramon Sáenz?
No.
He was also like another like paranormal investigator, but he was more into like he would. Okay, so he had a podcast or a radio podcast, obviously, because it was like early 2000s, maybe late 90s when it happened.
Oh, okay. So
And
like a radio show type of thing.
yeah, it was a radio show. They had
Radio show. Sorry.
the name of the show is it's called La Mano Peluda, which translates to the hairy hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense in Spanish. I don't know.
Isn't that a thing too? I was told about
I
that.
don't know why. I just imagined you had a lot more body hair until I like actually looked.
Average.
You shave.
No, I usually go outside and then run, so maybe they get burned.
So you wax.
No.
Sun
And
wax.
to be fair, I did was a little bit blonde when I was a kid.
Okay, that's fair.
I have
That's
blonde
fair.
hair
So
too.
was I.
You got blonde hair too, bro. See?
Yeah, I know. I have one. I have one long eyelash that's just blonde randomly.
Blonde hair right here.
Yeah,
One right here.
just randomly there.
Yeah.
It's like the most random thing that's been there for a while too. It's my random.
So he has this program. It's called, the hairy hand.
It's called Telemundo.
Ay, bitches. I love that movie.
Univision.
I love that movie. Fucking The Anchorman. That's such a good movie.
Alright, so he has Telemundo.
So it's called the hairy hand. Recently up to probably like 2017, I think it was still running.
Oh, dang.
So yeah,
See, you're dying too.
I'm also tired, yeah.
so it got famous. It got really famous all the way in like down in Mexico. I don't even want to say even down in Central America. And like
Mexico.
like border cities in the U.S. because like a lot of Spanish speakers.
Hermanos from Mexico.
Demons from Mexico. So
Diablo from Mexico.
and there we go. There we go. So
Chupacabras.
so the premise of the show is like he has a thing. Someone calls the studio.
If he's a man, I hope he has a thing.
What do you mean? Oh, stop.
Okay, I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
Carry on. So, he has so they call to the studio.
Yeah.
He picks up the phone and he's like, I don't know. It's like, hey, the other day I was at my house. They encountered like a demon, whatever, right?
Right.
Or like there's a fucking ghost, and like they narrate how like, oh, we were playing the Ouija board and whatever, right?
Oh, like idiots.
So he would like, I guess. So
I mean, that's like asking for it.
No, seriously, you play with the Ouija board. You are literally asking for it.
I mean, I doubt it works though.
We're not testing it.
100K subscribers, I'm gonna do it.
100K.
Hunch.
I'll do it for $1 million.
$500,000.
I would no.
200K. I don't think we're gonna make it past 200K.
No.
I don't
Then
think.
guess we're not doing it then.
Exactly. 50-50, boy.
No.
All right, fine.
Bruh.
We'll see.
I'm out that episode. I'm not there for that shit.
All right, so.
I'm be cowering at home with Fonso going. So I wonder how those idiots are doing.
Doing it. So that's the premise of the show. Like they would call him, he gives you an advice, he listens to the story, he somewhat react, not like the way we're doing it right now.
Okay.
But it's like, oh yeah, like I
So
see
you
what's
mean-
going on, you know?
So you mean it would be like that one guy that was just laughing on that show? He's like,
Yeah.
You know that guy passed.
I know. He died. He died like 3 years ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
That guy was great. That's
Didn't he
stupid.
got a meme too?
Yeah, it's the meme.
That's the whole that's the whole
Yeah.
freaking meme. It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
That guy was great.
So yeah, so he actually tried to help out the person, even though
so sad.
even though he wasn't professional. Like
Right.
he doesn't know anything about demons or whatever. He was just, like I said, a radio cast. One night, like I said, I don't remember, but I did manage to watch like the show, and then I have a friend that he wanted to tell his story, his ghost story. So we actually called one time,
Oh, interesting.
and they actually picked up. But my sister, because we were like I was like 11, he was like 13. So we needed like an adult to narrate it, because kids cannot do it. So he asked,
I need an adult.
yeah, I need an adult. I am an adult. That shit's funny. Dragon Ball Breach. Anyways,
No.
So he asked my sister, because my sister was like 17, and she's like, yeah, I'm about to be 18. And she's like, yeah, I'm his name was Ramses too.
Interesting.
Ramses.
Shout out to my boy.
Ramses.
He was really smart. Like he was like 13, and he was doing like high school like pre-call shit.
Damn.
I just got a question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a great wrestler?
No,
Damn.
he built pyramids though. Nah, just kidding.
What?
With a lot of Jewish slaves. That's
I mean, it's true. It's true.
They did.
They did. Yeah.
They
It's
did.
history. Unfortunately.
That's fact. That's a fact, Jack. Well, it's a fact for Ramses.
Yeah.
Ramses, the great wrestler.
So he was like so excited. He was so excited to tell his story. And then when they finally picked up to like, hey, we're ready to listen to the story.
Right.
My sister accidentally hung up the phone.
Bruh.
So he was like, no! She started crying. I was like, ooh.
Damn.
And my sister was like, no, but they said that we're going to call back. They never called
They
back.
never called back.
They never called back.
So, show is like that.
It's just like your girl when you were hoping she'd call back. She never did.
She never did.
Traumatization. Nah.
Anyway, so he the show is like that, right?
Uh-huh.
So early 2000, one night, they receive a phone call, and he picks up and he's like, "Hey, who am I speaking with?"
Ghostbusters.
No, the guy in the other line, he's like, "Cannot reveal my real name,
That's gay.
but you, oh boy, but you can call me Josue." That's why it's called the case Josue. I was like, "You can call me Josue," and he's like,
Josue Lee.
"Nah,
Sure.
let's go for Josue Lee." Alright, so he's like, "You can call me Josue," and he tells the story of how early in his childhood his family had money, or like somewhat wealthy, to the point that they didn't need it, to move or like migrate to the United States.
I'd like to know what that's like. Have enough money.
I guess it must be nice.
It must be nice.
And so he's narrating that his family was wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
but around like when he was early middle school, I think, their family basically lost all their money, like bankruptcy.
I spoke too soon, apparently.
Yeah. So they had to move to the States,
I see.
to California.
Move to the States.
And he was like, I hated it because I had like this certain lifestyle that all of a sudden it's like 180, to the other way. So he first started like, oh, why is God doing this shit, or like try to find answers with someone got a notification.
Yeah.
Trying to find answers with God and whatnot, right?
Right.
But eventually he that questioning became hatred towards God, which is like, if you're atheist, like, okay, well, I get it, or like if you find like some hatred, is like it could be justified. If you actually believe in God, if you don't believe in God, well, whatever, right? So eventually he started doing like a lot of hatred towards God, and then towards the, like, I want to say high school, he narrates that he was getting into like occult like shit, like, like demons, Satan, pagan gods or whatever, right? And when certain time of age, he find out about the lesser key of King Solomon, which, if you guys don't know, it's a book that is not canon to it. Let's just put it it's not part of the main canon of the Bible, but it's a Christian book.
Oh, the Wisdom of King Solomon.
Yeah. They have another one that is like, it's called the Lesser Key. Where they show you how to like summon demons. It gives you like a description of every demon that he summoned, how to summon the demon, and like how to prevent the demon to attack you, and how, like, the whole shenanigans.
Solomon was into some freaky shit.
He was the wise man,
A little too wise.
perhaps.
Gasp. A story for
the lesser key grimoire of King Solomon is how to summon the demons. At that point, apparently he find out, and like he started looking, and he actually managed to.
I just kind of realized it was hiding behind the microphone.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, that's good catch. So in the lesser key of Solomon, he goes like, on detail how to summon the demon. So he narrates the.
Gonna have a bunch of people go looking for a demon book now.
I mean, it's on their own choice.
Probably shouldn't though.
Yeah,
Probably shouldn't.
they're not to be not trustworthy. I'm just putting that one there. You shouldn't do it. So
It's our disclaimer.
yeah, we are not responsible. There we go. So he said that he managed to do some rituals and shit, but they never worked. But then when he found the grimoire, he made contact with a demon called Lucifugio.
What?
Yeah, Lucifugio.
Lucifugio.
Fugio.
Fugio.
Yeah.
Lucifugio.
It's in Latin, which means
Say it one more time. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Nah, Beetlejuice, nah. I forgot that movie. Like I don't got any good quotes.
It's showtime.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, that's like the main quote.
Yeah, that's the main cool.
I'm sorry, man. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. I just know it.
So he contacts, and it's a Latin name, which means he who brings light. And like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the Bible says Lucifer is the morning star, and Lucifer means something in Latin too, right? So that's the one thing. Like, many people is trying to like disprove that shit happened, but at the same time, like, that shit was so well elaborated that it's like, fuck, it's hard, hard not to believe in it, So he contacts the demon, and he basically claims like, I'm tired of this fucking port life. He's trying to make a pact with him, and the demon says like, oh, you gotta choose a family member that you gotta sacrifice,
Sacrifice.
And you're gonna carve his or hers, or they, them.
Choose a pronoun and go with it.
In their skin, you're gonna carve the pact,
Okay.
and that's how it's gonna go.
Just pretend it's the October pumpkin.
Yeah, basically.
Gosh.
So he starts choosing who, and he starts thinking. He thinks about like he's like, well, I cannot do it to my mom because he's like, I love my mom. He's like, cannot do it to my little siblings because that's what I'm doing it for. So he chooses his grandma because he's
not Gammy.
that's fucked up.
That is for sure.
Because his fucking thing is like, she already lived, so like she just basically he just basically says she's just wasting space.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was like checking like some gym matry, something like that. It has to do with like Jewish religion shit, where you have to, when you add a lot of numbers, they come with something and they explain like, murder or something like that, right? So many people say that famous people, they get famous because they do some sort of pact, and like usually when you do the shit with the thing,
Not in a stone.
they usually come as 107, and it means sacrifice. So they're sacrificing something or someone to achieve that shit. And I don't know, it's kind of weird that it's like, oh shit, you have to sacrifice someone to do the pact with the demon too, right? So he chooses his grandma. He murders his grandma.
Damn.
And as soon as he murders the grandma, that's how he explained it. A demon bursts in, or like someone, is basically human features as like hands, but everything else is a pig. So he's like, they grab me and they made me carve the pact on the skin.
Right.
So he's like, I passed out in the woods or something like that. He comes back, he's on his bed.
Okay.
The next morning, and then he gets the news that his grandma died, but they didn't show any like like murder. They show it as she just died on her sleep, which is freaky.
Yeah.
And he's like, how is that possible?
Right.
He's like, I carved that shit. I murdered her. He was expecting to go to jail the following day, right?
Yeah.
No, well, that's what he narrates. Because but all of a sudden, this shit happened. So it's really weird. So the way that he said, the following day he got a ring from the demon.
Okay.
And is like it has the King Solomon's Jewish star with some inscriptions on it. And if you read the Bible, King Solomon controls the demons to create the temple with the ring that has his symbol, which is a bunch of inscriptions, and then the Jewish star. And that's why the Jewish use the star, because of King Solomon. So that shit starts getting even freakier. That it's like, if he actually made this thing up, he did a good job.
Yeah.
If he didn't, it's like, damn. Right? So I think he ends the call because apparently he's like saying, they're like bugging me right now. He said they are bugging me right now, but like he didn't explain why. So the show goes to black, like the show ends.
Damn.
So they didn't know about this guy for like a few days, and then the host Juan Ramon, he's like, oh, we've been trying to contact him, but he doesn't pick up. So like a few days later, he gets a call, and it's that guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
He said that after he spoke with them, he's like, oh, they got a little bit, harsh, and they're being like,
by they you mean like the demons?
yes.
Ah.
He hasn't revealed that part yet.
Okay.
He's like they're getting harsher, so that's why I had to end it. He continues the story saying that the after he got the ring, he noticed that he started to becoming more successful. Apparently, he at that point where he in the phone call, he had a PhD on biology. He was working for like a decent like company or something like that, and then eventually he created his own company. And like every single morning, he would get a stock of $80,000, $85,000 bucks.
Damn.
And we're talking about back in early 2000s, late 90s. That shit was a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So he tells the way that he has to do it is like, oh, I get the cash, but I need to spend it that same day, else it's gonna kind of like disappear, and that stock.
So it doesn't stack.
Yeah, it doesn't stack. It's gonna poof, like go back to 85,000 the following morning, which is like a double-edged sword with inflation, and it kind of reminds me to the monkey spa.
Yeah.
Where like you need to be really specific and like you get tricked from it,
Oh yeah, but at the very least with the in this case, and I mean, not to say that some freaky shit hasn't happened yet, but at least in this case, it seems as though there's no consequences. Whereas the monkey's paw is like that whole thing that the guy was like, I wanted, so many things of money or whatever, and then his son died in some industrial accident at work, and he got all of his life insurance.
Yeah.
But at least in this case, he's not losing any money. He's not losing someone for the money.
He murdered his grandma. Though.
Not to count the grandma who was already dead because he did this.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's not like an add-on death is what I should say.
Okay. I see what you.
He doesn't suffer more consequences.
Okay. So.
Not to say that this is a good thing.
It is not a good thing. So he's like, but it needs to be spent in selfish act, like, oh, I bought a new car, I bought a new ring, I bought this, and that. Because it's like, if I go to the, charity, disappear. Or he gets punished or something like that. So he needs to spend every single day on something selfish. Selfish.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird. And then he's like, eventually I start getting like change of humor, where like he was more like apathetic, and he's like, as I was getting successful, my health began to deteriorate too. And then eventually he says, my family, my mom, my brothers, they start like drifting away from me. Because I don't know if he came up clean that what he did, or like they just start noticing like, so what do you do? Like what happened? How did you become successful? So he basically end up alone. I don't think even friends. So I guess when he called, he was fed up to it. Like I got all this shit, but I don't got the rest, so it's not worth it. So he was trying to undo the pact. But it's like, there's no way to undo the pact.
Right.
So he wanted to come out clean so he can, I guess, like, demon eventually you're gonna, like, okay, fine, undo the pact. Or at least I'll leave you alone. So he continued narrating the whole story, and, like, you see, like, the change in voice in the casters. Because they even brought a priest that he's like, oh, he knows about this stuff. But, like, just because you're a priest doesn't mean you know how to deal with like supernatural stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he was telling her like, "Oh, open the Bible in John 3:16, read it." And that was there. And he stood up like he's young. He was like, yeah, he wasn't helping, but he was like actually trying to help, which is like props to the priest. So he was like, open the Bible in John 3:16, or like just pray like God is my savior. No one else can harm me because of that. You know the things that they say. So the casters, they're like, you can see the change in their voice. Like it's like, oh fuck, it's just getting freakier.
Like, yeah.
And if you really think about it, it's getting fucked up, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then at some point, he continues, and that's when he reveals like, oh, they're harassing me right now. He's like, they continuing me, calling me names, they're making fun of me, they're throwing shit at me right now.
Like, hey, look at the little bitch.
Yeah, basically. And Juan Ramon's asking him like, so who, like, what do you mean, who's they? Who's with you right now? And he's like, them, the demons. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, like, can you describe them? And the way he described them is like an old lady floating, but she looks like she's rotten or something like that.
What the hell?
And she's floating, and like she's like harassing him, and like the only thing between him and the demons to actually harm him is that he still has the ring on, right?
Right.
Meaning that the ring still kind of like protection, because like in the Bible that's like, oh, King Solomon used the ring so he won't get harmed. So he's like, oh, they're completely harassing me, calling me names, they're calling me shit. And then all of a sudden, and I've seen that because like you can Google or like you can YouTube that shit and just go Josue case Mano Peluda, and it's gonna pop out the whole interview. Towards that point,
Damn.
he's like talking, and you hear like like
Oh,
screams and like shit like that. So it's kind of freaky. It's like it's chilling.
Damn, shit.
So it's really chilling to the point that it's like, man, I don't want to listen to this shit anymore, right?
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing he's telling, and he actually started raising his voice because you can hear that going like from like going like louder and louder every time, and to the point that he hangs up one more time, and that's when the priest like started going like crazy because he's like he was still like he was praying.
Yeah.
And he was telling like, oh, follow me, pray with me, do the same thing I said, blah blah blah, and then he hangs up as soon as he started praying. So like a few days more pass. He calls again, and it's like, fine, not again. It's like, fine, not again, dude. So he's like, he calls again, right? He's like, hey yo, so things got a little bit worse than before. He's like, I don't think I got much time left.
Dang.
And he's like, I just want to finish. Like I'm tired. Like, don't do this shit anymore. Blah blah blah. To whoever's seeking, greater power or whatever. And then you hear the sounds again, and it's like, fuck. And he's like, oh, they're here. They're like right next to me.
What the fuck, dude?
And then it ends again. It ends like he hangs up. So after that, he never called again. But Juan Ramon, I guess off air, he managed to like get his contact, like where to find him. So apparently he traveled here to California. I think I want to say it's like San Bernardino area or like San Jose area. So it's like, where like the rich people live.
Oh, rich people.
Rich people.
Richies.
So he went to visit his house. So he's like, apparently it was like a big house. It's like a big house, but it looked like so out of it. Like it looked like no one cleaned it, no one like maintaining it. It was like, it's a nice house, but it's no one's maintaining it, right?
Like abandoned or like?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So he knocks at the door. And the way he describes is like, so this tall, he's like, imagine tall from the Addams Family. It's like
okay.
tall, skinny guy with like a suit, gray hair, like pulling face down.
Oh, you mean Lurch?
Yeah.
Oh, large. Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, large. Yeah, Lurch. Yep.
Large. Yeah.
She go like you rang.
Yeah.
Oh, in
Yeah.
Spanish they call him tall.
Yeah, they do.
Ah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, no.
And I never
Lurch.
watched it. Okay, Lurch.
Yeah.
So he basically says like, so it's basically that guy,
Mm.
and he's like, I asked for Josue, and the only reply that guy is like, oh, he's not here right now. And he's in the hospital, and he has like, what hospital? And then he just closed the door. He's like, I knocked again, and I didn't hear any noise, he didn't walk away. He didn't walk to open the door. He was like, I just heard nothing. I just heard empty. And eventually, he said, I figured out where is Josue. I was like, dude, stop digging.
Yeah, I would have just.
I was like,
I would have left that shit alone.
yeah, I know. I was like, as soon. But dude, that guy was.
I
my
guess,
boy.
yeah, respect.
That guy
Respect.
deserves a lot of respect.
I would have dropped that immediately.
Yeah, as soon as like.
Yeah, no, freaking
The
hearing the
demons
screaming in the calls. I wouldn't even have taken his call after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
For
like,
real.
is that number? Don't pick up.
Yeah, block the number.
Yeah, it's like exactly as soon as we were talking about early
Oh yeah.
2000s, so you can't
Just
see.
don't answer, bro.
Yeah, don't answer. I was like, I wouldn't pick up the phone. I wouldn't even. Yo, as soon as like that, he closed the door. It's like, oh, okay, fine, bye. Never
Ratings
happened.
Must have gone through the roof.
Probably.
Yeah, they got famous, really famous.
I mean,
I bet.
So he's like, so I kept on digging and I found out where the hospital was, and I was like, because I was like, listen, the whole thing was like, stop.
the dedication, bro.
I mean, to be fair, he was a radio.
I guess that's like his
Yeah.
thing, his livelihood. I guess.
And he's like, so I find it and
Hell no,
That's so nice.
oh,
though.
and the way he described it is like, yeah, he's like, he looked like he's like pale, kind of like skinny, scaly, kind of like I was like,
So like dying.
Scaly?
yeah, he kind of the way that he described it was like, man, sounds like Voldemort.
Damn.
Yeah,
Don't
mind you, the guy was
speaking.
Mexican, so he was brown.
Leprechaun
He was like tan. He was like tan skin. So he was pale and like, so the way he describes like just skinny and pale, out of it, and like he's like, he looked like he was like in so many medications at the time.
Dang.
So yeah. So the story ends there. Like the actual like cast story ends there. Like he's like, oh yeah, find the hospital. That's it.
That's it.
So apparently
That's it.
they continue like being friends and whatnot.
Okay.
And eventually they find a way to get rid of Josue's problems. And I don't know how. I don't
I
know.
have exorcised the demons.
I guess. So I don't know how they did it, but they managed to get rid of the demons.
Got you carry on the case. That's how.
But this is the thing. All this time, we've been talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Juan Ramon.
Right.
He passed away, I want to say early 2010s.
Dang.
But this is the thing. When he passed away, there was a show. It was called Extra Normal, and they did like it was like TV Azteca. So it's kind of low budget.
Yeah.
But they actually like they do investigations. They do go to like abandoned places where like ghosts are.
Uh-huh.
So they actually go there and do the investigation. It's super low budget, and like most of the time it's like those ghosts like ghost hunting that you watch in History Channel where it's like, oh, the thing move. And it's like,
Yeah,
I see
it's
shit, you know?
Or it's like the little radar. It's like.
Exactly. One of those, right?
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, Carlos Trejo was trying to do the thing, but he never do it. And like you see Juan Ramon signs, and Juan Ramon says like, Trejo?
You see Juan Ramon, and he's like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And long ass commercial, and then just to get that scene like same thing like 3 times. What's that?
So
What's that?
exactly.
What's that?
No,
Slow
that's the
motion.
scene they show in the commercial break. Like,
Yeah.
it's like when we return, and it's like, what's that?
And then
Yeah.
you see like, oh,
But then they still show it again twice when it comes back.
so
Why are these commercials so damn long?
so that show is basically those, you know.
Right.
And they invited Juan Ramon Saez to go to an interview. And they invited Josue to go in the interview to talk about the case.
Right.
So Josue looked a little bit better, and like he talks like how his life got a 360 from after, you know, well,
Yeah.
no, 360, 180 I meant to say, after he met like Juan Ramon. But there's like a little tiny part after they finish where like they handshake, and Josue's wearing a ring.
Ooh.
Like 2 weeks later, Juan Ramon passes away out of nowhere. Like he just died
Ooh.
mysteriously.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And
That's something.
that's unnerving.
Yeah.
That's very unnerving.
And then
This whole story's been unnerving.
and yeah,
to,
no,
say, to say the least.
To
say the least. And then
What a jump. What a
and then
jump
apparently
we
it's
made.
like someone else
Fucking
from
talking about
production.
murder stories last
Yeah.
the other week. Then like, oh look, murder, demons.
No, the first one was
This should have been the Halloween episode.
this should have been the Halloween.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
nah.
feel like we jumped too far, too soon.
We're coming back. New video. No, just kidding.
See you in October.
See you in October.
Jeez.
I'll leave something as fucked up as this one. Don't worry about it.
Jeez.
I don't think I want you to. Jeez.
Okay, as I was watching the records on YouTube, and then I watched like different like shows that talk about it. Dude, I was like, man, I don't want to do this thing,
Bro.
and I don't get scared easily,
Yeah, like that's
bro. When I said like, oh, the demon will are right here, I was like,
true.
I was like,
There's
shit,
something else. Like, what the fuck?
that shit was crazy. And like I said, someone else from the production also died mysteriously.
What the fuck, dude?
So yeah, that's the insane part.
Juan, hold me tight.
So after that,
Every man for themselves.
so after the that incident, everyone was like, "Oh shit!" Like he's probably wearing the ring, which is not proven, because like the way because like he got more interviews later on. It's like, oh, I changed my ways, whatever, blah blah blah. It's like I don't know if probably like it was revenge from the demons or something like that. I don't think.
Sort of like a final nail in the coffin, maybe. Like like freaking what's it called? Like I don't know, like if he was 100% better at the end of that, like maybe Jose Ramon was Flores's like final sacrifice.
Maybe. Could it be?
Who knows?
I hope not, because like I said, I deeply have a lot of respect for that guy, because he actually was an investigator of paranormal. Like he wasn't like those bullshit like, oh, we're ghost hunting. He was actually going back to it. Go back to it.
Going back to your mom.
So yeah, so in 2017 or something like that, they did an interview with Josue, right?
Josue Ramon.
You haven't said Rocky
You're like-
Balbas.
Huh?
Oh
You
yeah,
haven't said Rocky Balbas.
Oh, you're right. Rocky Balbas. Rocky Balbas. Damn it.
Damn. So they did an interview with like he's actually he narrates horror story in Spanish. He's from Venezuela. His name is Dross. He has like 20 million subscribers. He's really famous.
Damn.
Because the way he narrates is like, esta noche les contaremos las cosas más espeluznantes, and then he puts like scary music in the background, like.
Okay. We gotta up our production value too.
Nah. Not yet. Soon. This man is out of here like fuck you.
It hit me wrong.
Oh,
Damn.
you need more Coke?
Nah, I'm good.
I mean, more soda?
I'm gonna ride it out.
Okay.
But I don't look like I'm suffering off camera.
Alright, so after he has a whole interview with him, right?
Yeah, he does.
So he keeps talking about it, and like he doesn't have any holes in his narrative.
Sexy.
Meaning, like every question that Dross asks him is the same shit that he said X amount of years back.
Right.
But everything that Dross like ask him is like, like it's like, yeah, you can see kind of like yeah, basically Dross like bring more science to it, and he dismisses it as just like science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, just the coincidence that happened
Yeah.
makes it really suspicious that either he really did his research on demonology or he actually did it. So that was the tale of the case of Josue. That's what do you think about it, guys?
I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Huge jump.
It was a huge jump, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
From murder case.
Murder case. Maybe a light sprinkle of ghost.
A friendly ghost, too.
Yeah. Friendly ghost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friendly ghost and, light demon possession maybe. Or just a crazy lady to... Oh, look. Extreme demon possession and summoning demons and bullcrap. What the hell, man?
I know, right? See, that's why I brought, like, Paranormal Activity. Because, like, it also sounds really familiar to Paranormal Activity. In the sense that, demon is haunting the house. And it just got stronger as soon as they tried to get rid of it.
Isn't that The Conjuring?
Yeah.
Haven't seen that one either.
Oh, that one's actually good.
That one's good.
I heard that one was
I
actually
actually
good.
like
Like
that.
both that one and its sequel.
And the sequel,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
Unfortunately, I'll bring the Warrens case one day.
No.
That's from the movie.
So yeah,
Referencing movies inside of a horror podcast is tight.
hell yeah. This video must be good. So, yeah, so it kind of reminded me to Paranormal Activity. It'd be kind of like funny, or not funny, but it'd be like either that person listened to the podcast, the one that did the Paranormal Activity,
Right.
is the guy, or is based off the story of Josue.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what happens in that. I don't remember the plot.
This is just demon possession, same thing. But like I said, it's really similar in the terms of like, it's a demon attached to the girl. No, spoilers.
I just know somebody gets dragged.
And then they try to get rid of it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, because they try to get rid of it, it gets angry. So that's why I was like, so I see the similarities with Paranormal.
Fair.
Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
I thought you were singing the Ghostbusters.
No, for some weird reason, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came to mind.
I remember the video game, the 2004.
Oh, that was fun.
That game was amazing.
That was fun.
Freaking loved it.
Yeah,
Dude,
I love that
weren't
show
they-
too.
Weren't they gonna make a new one?
They are. There's a new one that's supposed to be. There's a new one that's supposed to be coming out. That's kind of
Look like the same concept, right?
It looks like the old arcade
Yeah.
games.
Oh yeah.
It's TMNT Shredder's Revenge, I think it is.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's supposed to come out on like everything
Okay.
Yeah.
sometime this year. I don't know when exactly, but you're able to play as all four of the turtles.
And it has like co-op.
Yeah, it has co-op. I think it
Yeah,
has 4-player co-op. You're able to play as all four of the turtles and
That's gonna be sick.
April and Splinter.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
play
that's
as
fun.
Casey or whatever the guy is? The
I
funky guy?
don't think he's in it because it seems like it uses like the the 80s/90s animation.
Oh, so
So I
No
don't
Casey?
I don't think there's Casey in it because
He wasn't
Splinter
in
has
that.
like his purple robe.
okay, yeah.
He was?
I don't think he was.
Yeah, no,
He
I didn't
wasn't.
think he was.
Yeah, he was in the 2001.
Yeah, because that.
2003?
Love that video game.
Oh yeah.
That was so good.
Who knows? Maybe he'll be some kind of DLC or something like that. But
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see Batman.
forgot that happened. They are kind of associated with DC.
They're in Injustice.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh yeah.
yeah, in the game as well.
Injustice 2, right?
Yeah. Plus, then what? Don't they have a whole DC Comics like storyline?
I think so.
Is that the one where like Mikey's the last one?
I don't know.
I
Don't
think
they
so.
all haven't they all had a one-shot thing where they're the last one for whatever reason?
Oh, I don't know. I just know the Ronin or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, because I know Leonardo's had one. I thought Donatello had one as well.
I really hope Donatello has. He's my favorite.
So
Yeah, Mike.
your favorite is literally no one else's first pick.
Yes. Is the techie guy, and I find his humor nerdy but funny.
Fair.
So
I
you're a
always-
contrarian.
I always looked at it
Right
more
here.
from like the weapon aspect, and like staff just ain't cool, man.
Staff ain't cool. I also liked Raphael, but Raphael was a big
Heck
hit.
yeah, heck yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
dick though. Like, damn it, Raph.
Yeah, he definitely caused some unnecessary problems.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
many. Alright, going back to the topic.
Right. Unfortunate.
Back to demons.
Back to the
No. Can't we just talk about Demon Souls?
later. Later. Okay. So, any tools you guys want to add?
No.
No.
I already show you what you gotta do to protect yourself from the demon.
Yeah, pour salt around yourself in a little circle.
Don't say no more.
What?